So, I'm here with Ishoo. Tell me about your involvement in the US Padel.
Yes, as up now, I have created a fund that's called EE Capital. The focus is to invest in Padel in general, in the infrastructure of Padel, growth of Padel. So that's the basic idea. And the idea started 3-4 years ago. Today we have approximately 7 investments, which each investment have done 2 to 4 clubs. So that's the...
And what can you say about, we're here in Malaga right now at this Padel Summit. It's fantastic, like everyone involved meet each other here. What do you think about the Padel in the US in general right now?
Of course, I think it's the biggest market in the world. That's why I went there. So my journey started 2013 with Andreas Anwall. Where Mr. Padel in Sweden. So I sponsored the first club, and I saw what he did, and more importantly, what happened when the boom came. And I took a lot from Andreas actually. So I created this through what will be sustainable even when the saturation comes, when it be too much. Because I know his club is still working, people love him, and it's the community you build. So I bring this with 100 clubs that I have built around the world, approximately 600 plus courts. So I bring this knowledge and the fund, and of course then it makes it easier to be successful, because I give the blueprint, you can say, all right, you know what, I invest in you, but this is the important part. What works, but more importantly, what doesn't work. That's
exactly. And I just saw your speech here with Santiago Gomez and Michael Del Pilar, influential persons in the US Padel. And you talked a lot of the sport, like growing the sport with kids, with the college, and so on. Can you specify that more?
I believe that why I'm saying this is because every sport, if you're going to make it big, it's going to be international sport. You need to have national teams. You need to, as an example, when Swedish national team plays curling, we watch. It's not a sport that you will ever, but when they play in Olympics or World Champion, you watch, because it's that create something in us. So I think that we need to create Padel. When we are going to a country, it's not enough just build infrastructure for the 35 or 25 who can afford to play Padel. How do we interact the future generation who will become stars and maybe start to compete to have a national team? That's why it's, so that's my idea doing it today. And also, what will I do for the future of Padel?
And we're standing here. It's a PPL court. And tell me more about the PPL in the US.
PPL is a league started by Keith and Marcos de Pilar. And they came to me 3 years ago and break this idea, and I just loved it immediately. So I said, you know what, I'm going to be part of it. Let's do this. Let's do something unique. And I don't want to do it like Premier or World Padel Tour. I wanted to create something new with team format, with mix, with a lot of new things is coming in to make. And one of the most important part is that I really think that I want people to play 1 year to win 1 championship. This is very important, because everything we do, if you look at World Champion, Olympics, when something you need to wait longer time, it becomes more special. And I think that has been the challenge for Padel, that it's too often, you win too often, and as a spectator, you don't know if it's pro, if it's Masters or P1, A1, you don't know. You just see that same 6-8 couples are winning. It's a beautiful sport, but I think there is ways to create more fuzz about it and make it bigger, in my opinion, to worldwide. So
and in terms of entertainment, the US is...
I picked LA. I was the first one, and I said, I want LA. That's my bottom line, and because of I know the biggest influencers in the world. If there will be any documentary, they will do it of LA. So that's why I picked LA, and through LA, with the following that LA, as a sports city, as a show business, is the biggest market in the world. And through that, I can actually reach majority of the world. That's why I really did it. So
thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you, Philip.
Thank you.
Thank you.